Hello everyone and welcome to the program. I'm Sheung Okinbaloye. What a week it has been, from the federal government face-off with Labour and a strike to the controversial PDP conventions. The nation has been treated with enough to chew. Where do we start from now? Well, we'll bring you some of the latest story coming in as the organized labor has called off a strike over the grievances on the increase on fuel price. Some of the stories we're bringing to you right here, right now on Channels Television. But let's talk about some politics now to the People's Democratic Party politics. Let's begin in Abuja, in the nation's capital, where a faction of the People's Democratic Party, led by a former Deputy Senate President, Nwanyanwu, and a former Minister of Information, Professor Jerry Ghana, showed their grievances by staging what some people termed a parallel convention of the party. But it was clearly stated that it was going to be a non-elective convention since the court cases kept flying around. From the look of things, it was well attended, perhaps filled with several aggrieved members of the party. No serving governors, however, of the People's Democratic Party, but it enjoyed huge presence of what you would say are heavyweights of the People's Democratic Party. Their stance was clear and perhaps succinctly put by the leaders of the group. Let's take a listen to one of them, a person of Professor Jerry Ghana.
The PDP was founded first and foremost for a free and democratic society in Nigeria. We are the ones who are the promoters of democracy. That is why the founding fathers chose for us that whenever we are gathered, we should really remind ourselves that PDP is power to the people. That is the essence of democracy. Democracy is about consultation. Democracy is about debate. Democracy is about making sure the people matter. Therefore, this gathering is to promote the kind of democracy that will return this party to the people. When you want to elect leaders, we respect your will, we respect your election, no imposition, no impunity, no wuru-wuru, no magu-magu, nothing wrong. This party stands for human rights, human dignity, human values, and by the grace of God, PDP will take over Nigeria again and will govern and govern and govern and govern. PDP!
That's Professor Jerry Ghana, a former Minister of Information. Well, let me now take you to, that was in Abuja. Let me take you to Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State, where some would say the real convention, well, is meant to take place. That's the venue. It was Shark Stadium in Port Harcourt, but some drama played out. First, delegates were waiting as early as 8 a.m. Some of them have arrived very early and at the Shark Stadium in Port Harcourt, waiting for the show to begin. Not known to them, the crisis caused by the several court cases is giving their leaders sleepless nights, and chains of meetings were going on at the River State Government House and at some hotels in Port Harcourt. Late afternoon, the meetings were over, and the leaders decided the convention will go on. But you know what? As they proceeded to the stadium, some of which include serving governors, about 12 of them, some past governors also, and several chieftains of the party, including BOT chair and a former ministers and lawmakers. As they were settling down, Senator Alimadu Sharif was holding a press conference in a Port Harcourt hotel, and he announced the postponement of the convention. Here are some of the things he said at that press conference.
We are confronted with a lot of challenges. The challenges are we have multiple court cases which stop our convention from taking place. After due consideration of the numerous issues and special circumstances confronting our dear party, taking into account the decisions of the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, not to supervise the election into the office of the chairman, secretary, and auditor based on the order of court, irrespective of thereof, on the account of the fact that our party is responsible, law-abiding, with high respect for judiciary and courts. We do hereby state and put up the National Convention from taking place. We have suspended it until when all the court cases have been resolved.
Well, that's Senator Ali Modu Sharif. Just when that was happening, he was addressing a press conference, but another part of town, there is this convention holding, and the exercise continue as they dissolved the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party. They also agreed to zone the presidency in 2019 to the north and put aside the zoning earlier agreed by the party, one of which is that the chairmanship seat of the party should go to the north. And so the party set up a 7-man caretaker committee to be led by Senator Ibrahim Malakafi. So let me quickly show you those who compose, those who are in that committee. Is ex-Kaduna State Governor Senator Hamad Malakafi is the chairman, and Senator Ben Obi as a secretary, Senator Ubesia as a member, Senator Ningi also a member, Prince Dayo Adeyeye a member, Aisha Aliyu a member, and Barrister Usman a member. Those are those who will be in that caretaker committee of the party that will midwife a new or fresh national convention that will bring about a new leadership for the People's Democratic Party. Well, there are some very interesting speeches at that convention. One that particularly struck me, which I would like you also to listen to, was a speech by the governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, and I think it's something that you need to listen to. Take a listen to him.
Yes, they labeled us clueless, but we now know that we were actually clueless. We were clueless because we did not know how to elevate propaganda and falsehood to the directive principles of policy. We were, of course, clueless because we did not know how to conduct elections and make them inconclusive. Of course, we were clueless because we believed religiously in the rule of law, and we promoted the rule of law. Because we believe that fundamentally, you cannot talk of democracy without the rule of law. We were therefore indeed clueless. And in all the years of PDP, in all the 16 years of PDP, yes, PDP has not been a perfect party, and there is no perfect human organization. But I ask Nigerians today, do they feel more secure today than they were 1 year ago?
The governor of Ondo State and the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, Olusegun Mimiko, speaking there on behalf of the governor. Well, let's get some perspectives into this matter. Joining me from Abuja studio is the former chairman of Labour Party, Chief Dan Nwanyanwu, joins us now to discuss these issues and some others. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Let me quickly start by taking you on the issue of the federal government and Labour on the issue of the hike in the price of petrol. They've called off that strike, but if you look at the way and manner things have gone between the federal government and some faction of the Labour, and one would wonder what exactly went wrong and how it was handled. Was it well handled by the federal government, and what exactly are Nigerians being treated to in the past weeks?
Thank you, Shehu. I must say that Labour got to do what he had to do. The issue of fuel hike or increase in fuel pump price of petroleum products is not new to us. And when I listen to arguments to this effect, I'm never comfortable with it. Why must we continue to make arguments based on imported products? That is where I have my problems. Are we saying we cannot refine our consumptions here in Nigeria? Are we saying that we cannot have new refineries that can produce our consumptions in Nigeria? They do not import finished products in Venezuela. They don't do so in Saudi Arabia. They don't do so in Brazil. Why have successive governments in Nigeria elected to be involved in importation of products? That was the point of Labour. Labour will continue to fight for the people, irrespective of all the spanners that are being thrown into the wheel. It is the job of Labour to ensure that the take-home pay of the Nigerian worker is actually in a position to take them home. The truth of the matter today is that the purchasing power of the Nigerian people, including the Nigerian workers, have gone low. And it is not right for us to do this. I think when they started newly, they addressed the issue of the refineries. We were happy. They should have concentrated more on that and considered the issue of having more refineries. I am convinced that if we refine our products in Nigeria, petrol can be sold for 40 naira. And that is where I agree with Professor Tan David West, who was former petroleum minister during the time of General Mohammed Buhari as head of state. We should not continue to base our arguments based on importation. And that is why all these arguments will fall on the face of itself.